Mac Miller. A phenomenon of 2000s hip-hop culture. A musician's musician who made the leap from fret rapper to musical genius. His deeply personal lyrics, covering topics like love, growth, mental health, substance abuse and death and mortality, resonated with millions of fans who were left devastated after his sudden and untimely passing. He has not only been my favorite artist over the last years and also the one that I listen to the most, but also is the one who has moved and inspired me the most. So this video is intended as a tribute to his art. Many Mac Miller fans share a common sentiment. They feel like they grew up alongside him. His music often mirrored the life stages his listeners were going through, creating a deep sense of relatability. This connection likely explains his devoted fanbase. His thoughts and struggles felt authentic and easy to resonate with. Also, Mac never came across as an untouchable superstar. Instead, he felt like a longtime friend, someone you could talk to about life and its ups and downs.
In the Nikes on my feet, keep my cipher complete.
In 2009, Mac Miller began uploading his first music videos to YouTube, through which he quickly gained popularity among a young audience of hip-hop enthusiasts. During this early stage of his music career, 3 significant projects stand out in my opinion. The EP K.I.D.S, released in 2010, the album Blue Slide Park and the EP Best Day Ever, both released 1 year later. His early publications have a playful, carefree vibe to them and avoid delving too deeply into heavy topics. The focus is more on the life of a teenager aspiring to succeed in music.
Hey yo, the flyest motherfucker in the room, yeah you know it's me. Bitches hating on him cause he started out here locally. Hopefully I'll be at the top soon. For now I'm at my house, on the couch, watching cartoons.
In the album's music videos, Mac is constantly smiling and radiating optimism. He's brimming with self-confidence and effortlessly delivers cheeky lines about his importance, coolness and charisma.
My name Mac Miller, who the fuck are you? Well my crew too live, but I ain't Uncle Luke. And I ain't no hipster, girl, I can make your hipster from Pittsburgh, smoke papers over sweet.
But he also believes strongly that you should just do whatever you want and not let others get you down. So he shares this confidence and motivates others to be the same.
They gon' try and bring you down. Hating's what they do, but you gotta keep the smile. Stay up on your move, live free, live free, live free, live free, live free, live free, live free.
Additionally, Mac often raps about the nostalgia of his early days in Pittsburgh. He is deeply proud of his roots and of being a self-made rapper. His dreams and ambitions are huge and he doesn't hesitate to share them while having faith in his inevitable success.
Fast jet so I can go anywhere, anywhere. Cali for the kush, cause boy, I know there's plenty there. About to be in music stores everywhere, but not yet. They can't understand my concept.
How big this success will actually be, he doesn't know yet. But oh boy, there's much more to come.
Look, posing a question. How many been empty and holding aggression? Close to depression. Open your eyes and just focus a second. Fuck a recession, my brother, my mind is my weapon, I'm letting it go. Loaded and pointed at negative energy, telling me stop, they telling me no.
In contrast to his earlier playful projects filled with happiness and ease, Mac's next 2 releases ventured into darker territory and deeper themes. His 2012 EP Macadelic and 2013 album Watching Movies with the Sound Off showcased his experimental side through darker beats and more introspective lyrics.
Sometimes I see the world for how fucked up it really is. I tell myself I'll be the one to make a change in it. I could die tonight and I make it to the sunrise. Then I couldn't heal the pain in it.
He seems to be more comfortable expressing his struggles with mental health and embracing vulnerability. For the first time, he openly shares the inner workings of his mind and the demons he battles, delivering his message with raw honesty. This newfound maturity, reflected not only in his lyrics but also in his musical tone and evolving flow, creates a deeper, more profound connection with his music.
I'm still trapped inside my head, it kinda feel like it's a purgatory. So black and white, but I got family who would murder for me. Think I'm living paradise, so what I have to worry about? Dealing with these demons, feel the pressure, find the perfect style.
Some tracks don't seem to be much different from his earlier releases, but still are in my opinion. For example, the song Loud retains his cheeky, confident persona, but feels noticeably heavier than before. Furthermore, he references drug use, particularly lean, much more frequently and explicitly throughout the albums.
I got codeine in my cup, you can bet your ass I'm sipping. Groupies fall in love, I'm like, bitch, you must be tripping. I'm just trying to fuck, and she just need tuition. While you trying to stunt, you need to play your own position.
Macadelic and Watching Movies cover a broad range of topics, including love and success. In particular, Mac often reflects on how he copes with his newfound fame, turning to drugs while grappling with the fear of sabotaging his life through old habits like substance abuse. However, themes like love and personal growth become even more prominent in his later releases, so I'll explore those in greater detail as we progress. What I really have to highlight here is Mac Miller's 2014 mixtape Faces. Not only because it's a fan favorite, but also because, in my opinion, it represents the peak of his introspective and drug-themed songs. The entire project, including its cover art, feels like an immersive psychedelic trip. The beats are moody and slightly off-kilter on some tracks, perfectly complementing lyrics that explore themes from mortality, depression, to anxiety and escapism.
Writing on writer's block, haven't slept in days, they wanna put me in the psycho watch. Everyone's afraid of what I do inside my studio. Worried I'ma lose control, they ruffling my feathers and they shuffling the Yu-Gi-Oh!
Mac's music showcases a wide range of styles, from classic hip-hop and trap beats to jazz and R&B, two genres that will become even more prominent in his later releases. Faces, however, already leans heavily into jazz influences. What I love most about this album is that it's the first time my favorite Mac Miller sound emerges. A floating tune, something isolated and detached, as if you're observing the world through a pane of glass, unable to connect with those around you. It creates a sense of solitude, a feeling of being lost in your own thoughts with no solid ground beneath you. This atmosphere is conveyed less through the lyrics and more through the beats, which at times feel slightly cluttered and mixed up.
He looked up and smiled, asked me how do you do. I told him I'm losing my grip. He told me, son, if you want to hold on to yourself, then let yourself slip.
I came across this review of the album, and I think it perfectly captures its vibe and the thoughts it evokes in listeners. Faces lets you feel Mac's inner world as if it was your own, and this really is the music that makes me connect with him so much. The album is an incredible listen that I highly recommend, and here's my favorite track from the mixtape, one that never fails to bring me to tears.
Let us have a grand finale. The world will be just fine without me. Now got a smile on his face. It's going down, we going out with a bang. Are you ready for the fireworks? Now, I got a little bit of money filling my pockets. Roll around like I run and shit. I got a system filled up with toxins.
Choosing only two favorite songs from each release has been a challenge so far, but it is even tougher with Good.I.Am, as it is my favorite Mac Miller release. The 2015 album may not be as profound and introspective as some of his previous work, it still offers a lot of meaningful reflection though. The album explores themes of fame, dreams, achievements, and once again his struggles with substance abuse. The first tracks on the album are mainly about his financial aspirations that he finally achieved and how hard he has worked for his success.
I've been broke, then got rich. What's inside your wallet? Half man and half amazing, but that's just me being modest. I'm an honest man. My mama told me never put it on a lotto, and I work for everything I get. That is my motto, fam.
While he is no longer as carefree as he was during the K.I.D.S to Blue Slide Park era, Mac's dreams and ambitions are far from gone. In fact, they have evolved and matured. He no longer strives to be the best rapper in the game. Instead, he is confident in his abilities and proud of what he has accomplished. Now his focus is on building something greater, a legacy that truly reflects his journey and vision.
Back then they used to call me little, but now I'm riding something clean in a coat made of armadillo. They haven't got the memo, I'm saying I'm the shit though. Trying to make it complicated when the shit is simple. Tell me what you wanna be, what your dreams is. 100 G's in my jeans, I'm a genius.
As mentioned before, Good.I.Am also follows the struggle with addiction Mac is still going through. In the album, he explores how drugs might be his downfall someday, since he makes the same mistakes of using them over and over again. Unlike his earlier tracks, where he casually mentioned his substance use as a fact, he now openly explores and discusses the negative impact it has or will have on him.
Everybody saying I need rehab, cause I'm speeding with a blindfold on. It won't be long until they watching me crash. And they don't wanna see that. They don't want me to OD and have to talk to my mother, tell her they could've done more to help me, and she'd be crying, saying that she'd do anything to have me back.
That an overdose was his actual cause of death makes this lyrics,
Everyone who sell me drugs, don't mix it with that bullshit. I'm hoping not to join the 27 club.
and many other only more chilling and gets me every time. Still, this album offers a vulnerable and relatable point of view that reminds listeners there's light at the end of the tunnel. There will always be dark days, but it is possible to see the sun rise again.
Salvation in the underworld, waiting for heaven, but I gotta keep that bitch waiting. It's fascinating. Oh, it's the brand new me, and that's fascinating. Please be a little patient.
For me, Good I Am represents a new beginning in Mac Miller's life. He is slowly coming to terms with his demons, struggles, and destructive behaviors. But there's also a strong sense of hope and determination in the songs. This album sounds refreshed, and if Mac was waking up from a long, bad dream and is finally ready to go find balance and clarity for himself.
I've been meaning to tell you, you look better every day. Write you letters, it's only right there, right after love I write my name.
Just a year after Good I Am, Mac released a completely different album from anything he had done before. When I say he poured his heart into his 2016 project The Divine Feminine, I mean it literally. It's an album entirely dedicated to love and relationships. But as he explained himself, it's more than that. It's my perspective on love and adoration towards a female. There's no negativity involved in it, like there's pain, but there's not an angry breakup song or something like that. Throughout the songs, he offers insight of his relationship to women and honors the impact they have had and continue to have on his life.
Okay now baby, don't you leave my side, don't even try. I'ma go crazy girl, you save me, meditate me, give me peace of mind. It's only she and I, ocean floor, how deep we dive. We be high, looking for another fucking tree to climb.
You can really feel his love for love in this album, as well as his admiration for women, especially his significant other. A very important part in love for him seems to be physical closeness, as he mentions sexual things in almost every song and sometimes also falls in somewhat naughty territory with that. Of course, this isn't unusual for Mac Miller or hip-hop songs in general, but it stands out in an album entirely centered on romance. It gets clear that intimacy plays a big role in how he views relationships and is something he is thinking about quite frequently.
Yeah, and the freak mind is divine, so we fuck from behind on each side between thighs. I eat up. Why do anything but trust myself? Tried to give her up, but she fucked so well. Man, that bitch so cold. Man, that bitch so cold. I'ma take my time, I'ma hit that slow.
The album is a mix of emotions that anyone who's ever been in love can relate to, making it another great example of how fans connect with Mac's music. Still, The Divine Feminine doesn't paint him as a hopeless romantic. Instead, he explores both the highs and lows of relationships, from pure admiration and love to jealousy, pain, and even the fear of a breakup.
How many mistakes do it take till you leave? When I'm left with my hand and my face all red and the face looking at you like, wait, I know I ain't a saint if it ain't too late. Well, can't keep on losing. I run away so fast, no my heart like gold, but it break like glass. No my shit get old and I act so young, baby you so cold.
I think it's beautiful to hear such positive yet vulnerable music from Mac. Real and heartfelt, but not as heavy as the records he has done before. Still, The Divine Feminine ranks lower on my list of favorite Mac Miller albums, but that doesn't mean it's bad at all. I just personally prefer the deeper, more introspective side of his music, which makes a strong return in his next and final official release.
Woke up this morning with a bright idea. Maybe I can exist forever right here.
1 month before Mac Miller's passing, Swimming was released as his last official album. He returns to reflecting on his life and past and present struggles, but with a matured perspective. The opening track, Come Back to Earth, also brings this floating feeling back that I already loved so much in Faces.
Don't you know that sunshine don't feel right when you're inside all day? I wish it was nice out, but it looked like rain.
But this sound is not what defines the album's vibe. It blends a variety of genres, starting with the funk-driven songs like What's the Use or Letters, which is an amazing listen, darker tunes in Hurt Feelings, and one of my favorite songs, Conversation Part 1, floating melodies and texts as in Wings and Dunno, and finally more experimental sounds as in Small Worlds that almost sounds a bit goofy but has such a deep meaning to it.
I might trip, I never fall, God knows I came close. Don't try this at home, I know I probably need to do better. Fuck whoever, keep my shit together. You never told me being rich was so lonely.
The real gem of the album has to be 2009. According to producer Eric G, Mac freestyled the first half of the song on the spot. Many consider it his most emotional track that somehow lies between depressing and comforting. The melody is so peaceful and nostalgic, while the lyrics tell you how hard life can be, but how beautiful it is at the same time. You might have to put in work and go through tough times to get to the good ones.
Behind that door, yeah, okay, you gotta jump in to swim. Well, the light was dim and this light was sin. Now every day I wake up and breathe. I don't have it all, but that's alright with me.
Swimming as a whole is a masterpiece and constantly competes with Good I Am to be my number one. It portrays Mac in an accepting state, embracing the life he has built despite its hardships and finding love within it. It feels like he is healing and growing from the dark times, perhaps leaving them behind completely soon. The chronological order of the last two Mac Miller albums is a little difficult. His 2020 record Circles wasn't completed or released by Mac himself, while Balloonerism was originally created around 2014, around the time he dropped Faces, but wasn't officially released until January 2025. Because of that, I could have talked about Balloonerism sooner in this video, but wanted to include it in this epilogue part since it's a posthumous release. Still, I want to talk about Circles first, even though it's technically Mac's final project in the timeline.
And all I ever needed was somebody with some reason who can keep me sane. Ever since I can remember, I've been keeping it together, but I'm feeling strange.
The first time I listened to Circles, it felt like Mac was speaking from heaven, cheesy as that may sound. His voice and lyrics don't carry the same weight as I was used to. He actually sounds free and like he 100% accepts his flaws and the missteps in his life leading up to his passing. That doesn't mean he ignores his struggles though, like drug addiction, which sadly was a big topic from the beginning to the end in his music career.
Why can't it just be easy? Why does everybody need me to stay? Oh, I hate the feeling when you're high but you're underneath the ceiling. Got the cards in my hand, I hate dealing. Yeah.
It is kind of like he's telling us in the album that in the end, things weren't so bad. That he found peace for himself and tries to give us that same feeling. It's weird, I'm not a religious person and not so much of a spiritual one, but every time I listen to the album it's a feeling of, ah yes Mac, you're still here. And somehow he is. He's living on through his music and is a part of my and so many others' everyday life in that way.
I cannot be changed, I cannot be changed, no. Trust me, I've tried. I'd stand up right at the start of the line, drawing circles.
Balloonerism doesn't sound so peaceful, which makes sense given the time it was produced. I was so happy that this release gave us the feeling of Faces back and shows Mac's thoughts so raw and honest. These range from debating how adultery ruins a child's mind.
All of this before the brainwash starts.
before they get polluted. Start thinking like adults. Life is fantasy and somersaults. And before the world tear apart imagination, before there were rules, before there were limits, your only enemies were Brussels sprouts and spinach.
To struggles in a relationship and smoking weed with your girlfriend to push away what's weighing you down.
I wish she would learn to live. Isolation, she locking the bathroom door. Baby, let's get stoned.
At the end of this video, I feel like I could have said so much more, could have interpreted the songs in so many different ways and left out so many great Mac Miller songs I would like to share with the world. But no matter how much I say, I don't think I could ever fully express what his music means to me, and I only hope that other people feel the same way about it. For me, it's a safe space. Sounds that let me feel understood, songs that lift me up or make me think. And as sad as I am that Mac is no longer here and that I will never know what masterpieces he would have had in store for us in the future, I am so happy and so thankful to have found an artist in him that inspires me and lets me connect with my feelings in that way. Thank you, Mac. Rest in peace.
What does that feel like?